Unlocking deeper connections. How Stoicism can transform your relationships. Have you ever found yourself putting in endless effort into your relationships, only to feel like they never quite flourish as you hoped? What if I told you that a philosophy from over 2 millennia ago could offer the key to forging deeper, more meaningful connections in today's fast-paced digital world? This isn't just any philosophy. It's Stoicism, an ancient yet timeless system of wisdom that can completely reshape how we connect with others. Imagine applying the principles that once guided emperors and great thinkers to your own relationships, whether it's with a friend, partner, or colleague. Stoicism teaches us that the foundation of any healthy, long-lasting relationship isn't about grand gestures or constant agreement, but about mutual respect, understanding, and managing our own reactions and perceptions. In a world where misunderstandings and conflicts are inevitable, Stoicism provides us with a steady anchor. Whether you're trying to build stronger bonds with your partner, struggling to connect with colleagues, or seeking more meaningful friendships, the Stoic approach offers practical tools and profound insights. Today, we'll dive into Stoic wisdom and discover how to nurture relationships that are not only strong but truly fulfilling. So, if you're ready to take your relationships to the next level and create lasting, authentic connections, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss any part of this video, because each moment will bring you closer to the deep, meaningful relationships you've been looking for. 6 Stoic relationship principles to build confidence and protect yourself from manipulation. 1. The Stoic approach to building strong, lasting relationships. When you hear Stoicism, you might picture philosophers who are distant and detached, living a life devoid of emotion. But the truth is, Stoicism is all about engaging more thoughtfully with the world and the people around us. It's about building connections that are grounded in respect, understanding, and shared values, relationships that are deep, not just surface level. Now, you might be asking, how can a philosophy focused on emotional control and detachment help in fostering strong relationships? The answer is surprisingly simple. Stoicism doesn't advocate for suppressing emotions. Instead, it teaches us to recognize, understand, and manage our emotions so they don't overpower our reasoning. When applied to relationships, this means learning to control how we respond to difficult situations. Rather than snapping back in anger or jumping to conclusions, Stoicism encourages us to pause, reflect, and then engage in a way that's thoughtful, constructive, and compassionate. One key aspect of Stoic relationships is empathy. Imagine you're in the middle of a disagreement with a friend. Instead of immediately defending your viewpoint, you take a step back and try to see things from their perspective. You listen not just to reply, but to truly understand. This kind of active listening fosters empathy and mutual respect, which can transform any relationship. Another cornerstone of Stoicism in relationships is focusing on what's within our control. We can't control the actions, feelings, or thoughts of others, but we can control our own. This means choosing to respond with kindness instead of hostility, patience instead of frustration, and understanding instead of judgment. It's about becoming the best version of ourselves in any relationship, regardless of how the other person behaves. But building strong relationships isn't only about handling conflicts well or being a good listener. It's also about celebrating shared joys, supporting each other through tough times, and genuinely appreciating the people in our lives. Stoicism teaches us to stay present in the moment and be grateful for the relationships we have. By showing that appreciation openly, we strengthen the bonds we share with others. The Stoic approach to relationships isn't about ignoring emotions. It's about balancing thoughtfulness with emotion. It's about creating connections that are grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and a clear sense of self. By adopting this mindset, we can build relationships that not only last, but are deeply fulfilling and enriching for everyone involved. 2. The power of perception in relationships. One of the most impactful teachings of Stoicism is the idea that our perception shapes our reality. How we interpret situations and people directly affects our emotional responses and, in turn, our relationships. For example, when we view a disagreement as an attack on our character, we're more likely to react defensively. But if we recognize that the disagreement is simply a difference of opinion, we can respond with calm and understanding. In relationships, the way we perceive others' actions can either create conflict or foster connection. Stoicism helps us challenge our knee-jerk reactions and look at situations with a clearer perspective. By practicing this shift in perception, we can approach every interaction with more compassion, less judgment, and a deeper sense of peace. It's fascinating how much our perceptions shape the reality of our interactions. Stoicism offers us a profound lens through which we can view our relationships, emphasizing a powerful truth. It's not the events themselves that disturb us, but how we interpret those events. This insight can transform the way we approach our relationships and emotional experiences. Let's break it down. Imagine you're waiting for a friend who's running late. You could interpret this in several ways. You might think they don't value your time, leading to frustration and irritation. Or you could choose to consider that they might have faced an unforeseen delay and reflect on times when you too were late. This simple shift in perception can turn frustration into understanding and patience. Here's where Stoic wisdom comes in. Often, we try to control things that are beyond our influence, other people's actions, thoughts, or feelings. Stoicism teaches us to focus on what we can control: our own thoughts, our perception of situations, and our reactions. By applying this philosophy to our relationships, we can create a more peaceful, harmonious environment for ourselves and the people around us. For instance, when a misunderstanding or disagreement arises, the natural impulse might be to blame the other person. However, the Stoic approach invites us to look inward first, asking ourselves how our own perceptions and responses may have contributed to the conflict. This self-reflection empowers us to respond in a more thoughtful, compassionate way moving forward. But Stoicism isn't only about navigating difficult moments. It's also about appreciating the good. By choosing to focus on the positive qualities of the people around us and the joyful moments we share, we cultivate an attitude of gratitude. This doesn't mean ignoring problems, but rather acknowledging both the strengths and challenges in our relationships, fostering a more balanced, optimistic outlook. The Stoic practice of reframing our thoughts and focusing on what's within our control can truly transform how we relate to others. It encourages understanding, reduces reactivity, and helps us appreciate those we care about. So, next time you find yourself frustrated or upset in a relationship, ask yourself, is this within my control? How can I perceive this differently? By embracing this perspective, you not only improve your relationships but also find deeper peace and contentment within yourself. 3. Stoic values and how they enrich relationships. Stoicism isn't just about personal peace. It's a philosophy that deeply influences how we engage with others. It champions virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, all of which can elevate our relationships to new heights. Wisdom in relationships isn't about having all the answers. It's about understanding the complexities of human interactions and recognizing that every person has their own perspective. Wisdom in relationships means making choices that foster harmony and understanding. When we approach conversations with a mindset of empathy, listening to understand rather than to respond, we can diffuse tension, deepen bonds, and build mutual respect. Courage in relationships doesn't necessarily mean bold or dramatic actions. Instead, it's about the courage to be vulnerable, to express our true feelings honestly, and face difficult conversations head-on. It's also about respecting boundaries, both our own and others. This kind of courage builds trust and authenticity, creating a safe space where true connection can thrive. Justice, according to Stoicism, is about fairness and treating others with dignity. In relationships, this means being empathetic, considering others' needs alongside our own, and striving for interactions that are mutually beneficial. Justice also involves standing up for what's right, even when it's uncomfortable, which sometimes requires having difficult conversations or making tough decisions. Lastly, temperance is the Stoic virtue of moderation. In relationships, this means maintaining balance, expressing emotions appropriately, avoiding impulsive reactions, and finding a healthy balance between giving and receiving. Practicing temperance helps avoid extremes like overdependence or emotional detachment, paving the way for relationships that are supportive, empowering, and healthy. By embracing these Stoic values, we not only enhance our personal growth, but also contribute positively to the lives of others. They help us create environments of mutual respect, understanding, and care, cultivating connections that are both meaningful and lasting. Whether in a friendship, romantic relationship, or professional setting, applying these virtues can transform how we interact with those around us. Fear, understanding and managing emotions in relationships. One of the most common misconceptions about Stoicism is that it advocates for the suppression of emotions. In reality, Stoicism encourages us to understand and manage our emotions, not to erase them. Emotions are an essential part of our human experience, and they play a significant role in how we relate to others. Stoic wisdom helps us navigate these emotional waters with greater skill and compassion. The key isn't avoiding emotions, it's learning how to respond to them wisely. When we experience strong emotions like anger, Stoicism teaches us to pause and reflect before reacting. This moment of pause gives us the power to choose a response that aligns with our values and nurtures our relationships, rather than one that could potentially harm them. Moreover, Stoicism helps us dig deeper into the underlying beliefs and expectations that trigger our emotions. Often, our emotional reactions are connected to perceived threats to our values or beliefs. By identifying and understanding these triggers, we can communicate our needs more effectively and approach others with greater empathy. Empathy, a vital, emotional skill in relationships, aligns perfectly with Stoic teachings. By striving to see the world through others' eyes, we can respond with kindness and support, strengthening our connections and building trust. Finally, expressing emotions authentically is crucial for healthy relationships. Stoicism doesn't discourage emotional expression. It encourages us to be mindful of how and when we express our feelings. By doing so thoughtfully, we ensure that our emotions contribute to deeper connections rather than creating unnecessary conflicts. In relationships, Stoicism doesn't encourage suppressing or hiding our emotions, but rather understanding and expressing them in a thoughtful way. Open, honest communication about our feelings can foster intimacy and strengthen the connections we have with others. It's through this kind of emotional transparency that bonds become more profound and genuine. However, it's essential to remember that managing our emotions is a continual process. While Stoic wisdom offers valuable tools, developing emotional awareness and control is a skill that requires consistent effort and patience. As we practice navigating our feelings more consciously and responding with intention, we'll notice that our relationships become not only stronger but also more compassionate and fulfilling. By embracing the role of emotions through the Stoic lens, we unlock the power to build deeper, more understanding relationships. Acknowledging our emotions, taking time to reflect before reacting, and communicating with empathy and honesty all enhance the emotional richness and quality of our connections. Let's commit to nurturing these practices, fostering relationships that thrive on emotional intelligence and mutual respect. 5. Communication and trust, the cornerstones of strong relationships. In any relationship, whether romantic, familial, or professional, communication and trust form the essential foundation for everything that follows. Without these two pillars, even the strongest relationships are bound to falter. Stoicism teaches us that communication isn't just about talking, it's about truly connecting with others. It's about sharing our thoughts, feelings, and values in an authentic, clear, and respectful way. A core Stoic principle is to listen actively, not just to respond, but to understand. This requires giving our full attention to the other person, acknowledging their perspective, and responding with consideration. In a world full of distractions, this type of focused, intentional communication can significantly deepen our relationships. But communication is a two-way street. It's equally crucial to express ourselves clearly and authentically. While this can be daunting, especially in sensitive or conflicting situations, Stoicism encourages us to approach these moments with courage and wisdom. By speaking our truth with kindness and respect, we not only resolve issues more effectively, but also cultivate deeper trust and connection. Now, let's turn to trust. Trust acts as a bridge between two people strong and enduring, yet in need of regular upkeep. Stoicism provides us with valuable insights into how to build this bridge. It teaches us to be reliable, consistent, and transparent. When we commit to something, we follow through. If we make a mistake, we own it and work to make amends. These behaviors lay a firm foundation of trust, demonstrating that we are dependable and honorable. Yet, trust also requires vulnerability. It means opening up, sharing our innermost thoughts and emotions, and trusting others to handle them with care. While this can feel intimidating, Stoic wisdom offers us the courage to confront these fears and the discernment to know when and how to reveal ourselves. When we make ourselves vulnerable, we invite others to do the same, creating a cycle of trust and openness that strengthens our relationships. Trust is not just about believing in one another, it's about believing in the relationship itself. It's the confidence that, together, you can face challenges, work through conflicts, and continue to grow. This kind of trust provides a deep sense of security and belonging, which are essential for any healthy relationship. Communication and trust are far more than just important components, they are absolutely indispensable. By applying Stoic principles, we can enhance our ability to communicate with clarity and empathy, build trust through integrity and vulnerability, and create connections that are resilient and meaningful. Let's commit to living these principles every day, nurturing relationships based on mutual understanding and respect. 6. Fostering meaningful connections in a superficial world. In today's fast-paced world, where surface-level interactions often dominate and connections seem fleeting, building deep and meaningful relationships may feel like a challenge. Yet, Stoicism provides timeless guidance on how to cultivate these connections, enhancing our lives and enriching the lives of those around us. Presence, the foundation of deep connections. At the heart of Stoic philosophy lies the concept of presence, something that's often lost in our hyper-connected digital age. We may find ourselves physically with someone, but mentally distracted. Stoicism teaches us the value of being truly present, not just in body, but in mind as well. This means fully engaging in conversations, actively listening, and showing genuine interest in the time spent together. When people feel truly heard and valued, it sets the stage for deeper, more authentic relationships. Shared values and experiences, creating strong bonds. Stoicism emphasizes living in alignment with our core values, and it encourages us to seek out others who share those values. When we engage in activities that reflect our principles, whether that's volunteering, pursuing creative passions, or embarking on a spiritual journey, we open the door to meaningful connections with like-minded individuals. These shared experiences form the bedrock of lasting and fulfilling relationships. Embracing vulnerability, the key to authenticity. One of the more powerful, albeit often misunderstood, aspects of Stoicism is its view on vulnerability. While it might seem counterproductive to reveal our imperfections and uncertainties, showing our true selves can actually deepen our bonds with others. When we open up about our struggles and triumphs, we invite others to do the same, creating a foundation of mutual trust and empathy. Vulnerability, far from being a weakness, is a strength that fosters authentic, lasting connections. Gratitude, the power of appreciation. Gratitude is another Stoic practice that plays a crucial role in developing deeper relationships. By consistently acknowledging the value of those around us, we strengthen existing connections and create space for more positive, enriching relationships to blossom. Gratitude fosters a cycle of appreciation, encouraging others to remain integral parts of our lives. By expressing thanks and recognition, we show that we truly cherish the people we are fortunate enough to share our lives with. Ongoing growth, the key to sustaining strong relationships. Developing deep relationships isn't a one-time achievement, it's an ongoing process. Stoicism's focus on continuous personal growth and self-reflection encourages us to nurture our relationships over time. By addressing conflicts constructively, striving for mutual understanding, and remaining committed to personal growth, we can ensure that our relationships evolve in meaningful ways. Relationships are living entities that require care, and by viewing them as such, we can build connections that are resilient, rewarding, and enduring. A journey of connection and fulfillment. Building deep, meaningful connections is a vital part of a fulfilling life, and Stoicism offers profound wisdom to guide us on this journey. Through presence, shared experiences, vulnerability, gratitude, and a commitment to continuous growth, we can foster relationships that provide lasting companionship, support, and joy. As we embrace these Stoic principles, we invest in relationships that not only bring us happiness, but also contribute to the well-being of those around us. Remember, the art of building deep connections reflects our shared humanity, our capacity for empathy, understanding, and love. Let us carry the wisdom of Stoicism into our relationships, nurturing bonds that endure and flourish. Thank you for being part of this community, and as we continue exploring Stoicism together, I encourage you to explore the videos linked on the screen. Let's deepen our understanding and application of Stoic principles, creating relationships that reflect the richness of this timeless wisdom.